Hey guys, so we thought we'll do a new segment, which is essentially a weekly wrap up of all the summer transfers that have already happened or are likely to happen. So we are only going to take trusted sources like a Romano or an Onstein or some very trusted sources for specific content of La Liga or the Italian league. So I'll just get into some of the, let's say, confirmed or in the process of being confirmed news. And I'd love for Varun and Manan to share their views. So there is a pinned tweet by Fabrizio Romano. Florian Wirtz has informed Bayer Leverkusen of his desire to join Liverpool. The contract agreement is done, sealed as Wirtz only wants Liverpool move. Club-to-club talks already underway as revealed earlier. LFC are confident to get the deal done soon, not a long saga. This was posted on 24th May. Since then, Liverpool have put in two bids. The last bid was around 130 million euros, and both have been rejected. Thoughts?
I think they'll close the deal at 150.
Really? You think it'll go till 150?
I think so, yeah.
Wow, that's going to be big money.
It is. It is. And like, I don't even know if he's worth that much money or not.
Yeah. I mean, I
I
don't know
like,
about whether worth or not. It's just that Liverpool haven't had that philosophy of shelling out such a huge amount of money on uh, individual players, right?
hmm.
Uh, so it's a little surprising coming like this kind of a deal coming from Liverpool or this kind of a payment coming from Liverpool. So yeah. But to be honest, Wirtz is a quality player, and kind of it's something that he's a player that kind of they need. So yeah,
So where does he play? Like he replaces Soboslai or he plays on the left wing? Like where
I
does he play?
think I think he can play like a false nine as well, which is kind of a role that Firmino used to do a few years back. So I think that is kind of a role that he can do as well. He can of course do the Sabosla role as well, but like again, a player that can fit in the team in multiple number of ways.
It'll be interesting to see. Honestly, if I was going to spend 150 million in the German league, I would possibly pick Musiala. I think he would solve so many problems for that Liverpool team because he can carry the ball brilliantly and he just has that magical quality about him as well. But yeah, maybe Bayern aren't on the table at
But
all.
who plays up top for Liverpool then?
There is a good chance that Hugo Ekitike will come in from Frankfurt.
But
I
a
mean,
lot of
honestly,
teams are
if I
going for
was
him, right?
spending that much money in Germany, I would just get Harry Kane. Like have him for 3 or 4 seasons. He's still going to
Three or
score
four
30 goals every
seasons.
season. I think he can be like a good center forward for the next 3 4 seasons. Yeah. The way he's going, he's never been the fastest player, so speed is not a big issue anyway. It's more about his positioning, timing, goal scoring, playmaking, everything, right? So he could be a good player for 3 or 4 seasons for that amount of money. And if Liverpool get Kane, then they have, I mean, they are competing for the top position every season for the next 3 or 4 seasons at least, right? So
On the subject of Kane, the next tweet is Liam Delap has completed his final part of medical tests as a Chelsea player, and he can be considered a new Chelsea player. 30 million move from Ipswich.
are you happy about this?
I think it's great value because
Hmm.
a 22-year-old ex-City player who's worked under Maresca scored 12 goals for Ipswich in the Premier League last season, is good with both his right and left foot, can hit the ball, a poacher. So fits in all the boxes. The issue is he's not ready to help us compete in the Champions League yet. So I think that is the only drawback. But another good thing is he comes on low wages. He comes at a lower transfer fee. There's no downside of the move. So
Is he
if in
fast?
one season, I've seen only a few games, especially the ones against Chelsea, he seems okay. Like I
Okay.
wouldn't say he's very slow, but he's not as quick as he's faster than Kane. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But I would rather have Bakola for 40 million than have Delap for 30 million. Yeah.
Different players. Bakola
I
is
mean,
your typical left winger. Like, for instance, let's say I honestly I would love Bakola at Chelsea as well because we don't have a proper left winger right now. Sancho may be heading back to United. Mudryk is under the doping banner. So, matlab, that is a different subject altogether. But Delap, I think the biggest thing is again Enzo Maresca, known and trusted, right? Also, another very interesting when I was doing a little bit of research about Delap. So before Ipswich, he was on loan in the Championship. Any
Mhm.
guesses which club? A
Leicester
very
City.
unknown. No, he was playing for Hull City. And who was the manager of Hull City at the time? Liam Rossinier, who is now the manager of Strasbourg. So basically, what Chelsea have done very well is they have identified certain players who fit into certain positions well. So in case, let's say he doesn't work out for Chelsea, he can always be shipped out to Strasbourg on loan.
no. See, on a just on a standalone basis, if you see, okay, Villa for 30 million, probably like a good backup striker to whoever in case you want to sign like going forward. I think it's a decent deal. I mean, if you ask me, if something like I told you last time as well, right? Like if we are signing someone like Sesko, we need a backup to him as well. And in that case, if you sign someone like Delap, it's not a bad option. But I don't know whether he is ready to be a starter or not at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, for
So
sure.
that is, yeah. But okay, let's see.
See,
Still
if we go
22,
into
still
the
potential
season,
there.
yeah, if we go into the season with him as our main striker, of course, we are not going to do any better than what we did last season. But in case if Jackson stays and if he performs better, or in case we sign a top level striker, I think it can be really good.
Okay, a segue. I know we didn't this we said that we won't discuss like rumors and all that, but there's a rumor that United might sign Jackson
For 70 million.
Really?
for 70 million.
Really?
Yeah.
What? When are they going to learn?
For your sake, Manan, I hope it's a rumor.
I hope so too. Yeah, it's. I mean, you don't know what's going on in that club now, right now.
Another get out of
Uh,
jail free card for Chelsea.
No, yeah, again, so all said and done, again, examine the facts. He misses a lot of chances, but he actually gets to them. In the past, we had a problem that we didn't even create chances that the striker was getting to. Number two, he has scored 27 goals in the league in the last two seasons. He came on to Chelsea for 32 million pounds and he signed a 7 year deal, which is now extended by 2 years, a 9 year deal. If we break it down, essentially we are paying, मतलब, उसका amortized fee is less than 3.5 million right now.
hmm.
So even if we get 25 million for him, we are still in profit FFP wise or PSL wise. So अगर वो रुका, it's a great option to have because he brings something, you know, like let's say overall 12, 13 goals a season. And if he leaves even for 25, 30 million, it's like a no loss for us. And if we get 70 million, I think we should definitely drop him off to United for 70 million. I think that's a no-brainer. You sign someone else for 70 million otherwise.
Forget 70 million. I am saying even if you get 30 million, even if you recover your 30 million, you should sell it to United.
नहीं यार उसके लिए he's good. I don't think he's worth less than 45 million in today's market for sure.
Oh my god, dude.
For sure. Okay,
Right.
next, understand Real Madrid will make final decision soon on Nico Paz. More contracts to follow in the coming days. Real can bring Nico back for 8 million buyback clause. Internal talks are taking place with Jabi Alonso. So, just the context, Cesc Fabregas went to Como in the Italian league last year. He signed Nico Paz on loan, and Nico Paz is a really, really talented central midfielder. Like, imagine Odegaard, but with a little bit more. defensive capability and plays a little deeper. And some of his touches are like out of this world. Like if you see his YouTube compilations, right? It's really good. And someone like a Jabi Alonso can really make him a star in Madrid. But at the same time, I don't see him getting chances at Madrid. So it may be in his best interest to stay along with Cesc Fabregas at Como. Or if Fabregas moves to Bayer Leverkusen, not no, Leverkusen job is now done with Ten Hag, but I think some other league, then I think he can follow him there.
I was hoping that if we end up selling Fabio Vieira and if we have little bit of funds left after investing in whatever other players we want, this could be like a decent signing for even someone like Arsenal. Like
It would be a
it's
great signing for Arsenal, but I
yeah.
don't see it happening. Like
I
he
know,
won't get
just
chances.
wishful thinking from my end.
Uh,
But
Ideally, I'll not be even kid. I think this guy, if he goes to Brighton for a couple of seasons, it can be the best move for him.
yeah, certainly he needs to be at a place where he starts to develop. But yeah, and I think Fabregas is doing a great job over there. So Fabregas is a good manager to work under, right? Like for players such as these. So yeah,
Also, Fabregas has a very interesting take, despite being from La Masia and then the entire Barcelona circle. His way of transitioning the ball from defense to attack is a lot faster. Something what Manan was describing of Luis Enrique this season. His philosophy is a little bit similar to that. More vertical passes rather than tiki-taka.
Mhm.
Okay, so the next one is more on the Ryan Alt Nouri story from last week. Understand that the left back has already said yes to Manchester City. Negotiations to advance soon between Man City and Wolves for the left back, as reported 10 days ago. He is on top of their list. Just for reference, Alt Nouri, I think, had 11 assists this season.
But I think he's more of a wing back, no, rather than like a left back.
More of a wing
So
back.
हाँ, सिटी में वो कहाँ से फिट हो गए?
yeah. I thought कि someone like United might go for him. Yeah,
हाँ, I mean we should have gone for him over Dorgu in January. I feel.
but क्या करे अभी United like Jackson much more than such players.
Okay, this is an interesting one. Just 3 hours ago, Lamine Yamal was asked whether he would ever consider a move to Real Madrid. He said in the most inconceivable way, impossible, no way, no, no, never, never, ever.
Figo also said the same thing.
Let's see
Let
if
us
history
see.
repeats itself.
Let us see how Barcelona are doing in like 5 to 7 years. And then we'll know more.
Um, thing on EPL, I think Zubomendi to Arsenal is pretty close to happening. I think it's going to be like in the ballpark of 50 or 60 million deal.
52
So
million pounds, but
yeah,
there is one cousin of Arteta who is going to try and hijack the deal.
I think it's way too ahead to be hijacked, right? No, I thought he
Never
was
know,
already
yeah, you
scheduled
never
for
know.
medical and all of those
Everything is
things.
done. Honestly, everything is done, but
Yeah.
only reason why it can collapse is because Jabi Alonso is a former Real Sociedad player. He has a lot of connections at the club, and if he can find a way to, let's say, I don't know, speak with the player, his agent, and convince him and assure him of a first team role, I think that is the only way this can collapse. But again, from a Madrid perspective, this would make a lot of sense because they've recently also signed Huijsen from Bournemouth.
Mhm.
And Huijsen, as a defender, is a very good person to come out of defense, bring up the ball, play that middle role. And Zubimendi is a combination of a perfect number six, like a Rodri role, who can also distribute the ball very well from the back. So I think as a combination, these two guys can be very good. But Arsenal, if they get him, I think their midfield would be the best. I would say for sure. Because Zubimendi with Rice going as a number 8 and Odegaard on the left-hand side, I think that would be a Champions League competing, uh, you know, squad, I would say. Because Partey
With
as a backup would be amazing.
if Partey re-signs the
Yeah,
contract, then Partey will be like a backup, and then Marino will be a backup for Rice on the left
correct,
side.
correct.
And then
Then
all
you've
you
got
need
this
is a
young
backup
kid.
for Odegaard.
You've got this
Sorry?
young kid coming through, right? Max
Yeah,
Dauman.
yeah, but too early for him, I feel. So, yeah. But yeah, Zubumendi, if that gets locked in, then a striker and a left winger are the next two spots we need. So, probably
Another
Sesko
very,
is something that they are discussing.
yeah, another confirmed news and very important news. Griezmann signs new deal at Atletico until 2027. I think Griezmann still has a lot to give and was really good this season. So I think that can be a good signing for them.
There are some murmurs that Alvarez might be open to leaving Atletico.
That'll
To
be
go where?
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But where will he go? Like, who can pay more than 90 million to Atletico?
Apparently Liverpool.
Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea 10-year
Nowhere.
deal, 9 million per year.
आर्सेनल के पास कहाँ
I
इतना
would
पैसा
love
है?
that.
So he would be great at all these clubs, but they should be able to afford it also, right? अभी लिवरपूल वर्ड्स के ऊपर खर्चा कर देंगे तो they will not have any money left. Arsenal doesn't have
Chelsea
that
is
kind of
not
money.
signing, yeah, Chelsea is not signing any player with more than 150K base salary. That is their, modus operandi over the last 2 seasons, which I appreciate because then it's very easy to move players on. So
Hmm.
See, this base salary thing, right, is like a complete wish wash because a lot of these players get a lot of bonuses on the kind of uh, things that happen in terms during the season. So there are like appearances bonuses, there's a goal bonus, there's a substitute bonus, there's a lot of other baked in bonuses that are there, which kind of okay, fine, you're quoting base salary, but I mean, ये सब
नहीं,
में
so
of course the
No,
players
but
will
that's
negotiate a
okay
lot
ना.
higher
अगर
then.
performance related bonus है, so you only have to pay it out if performance is there. And if you get the performance, you don't mind paying it out also, right?
I'll give
So
you the example this season. So aside from Sterling and Chilwell, who were signed in the first year of Boli, every single player had their base salary reduced by 20% because they could not qualify for the Champions League. And this season, because they've qualified for the Champions League, your base salary increases by 20%.
Reinstated,
So,
basically.
yes. So basically, it's a very fair way of looking at things wherein you are not
But
overspending.
all clubs have it that way.
Not
It's not
really.
something, yeah, all
Not
clubs have
really.
it
नहीं,
that
all
way.
Not
clubs
really.
have it, but
Yeah,
Chelsea
all
has
clubs
put a
have it.
salary cap, right? Like base salary will not be greater than 115,000. That
Like for
is not something that
instance,
all clubs
yeah,
have.
like a Cole Palmer, I think is on 130K right now, which is really amazing for the last 2 seasons that we've got from him. Only James is the exception because James again was part of the old ownership as well. So he is above, I think, 250K. Other than that, most of them are below. And now I think because of Champions League, they may allow players to have a little bit higher salary. But for me, I think it's as a fan and as someone who is looking at the corporate governance of the club, I would love to be in a position wherein if a player is not performing well, I can ship him out somewhere else. Which unfortunately for players like Sterling or players who are above a 250K bracket cannot happen. Like no club would be willing, and then we have to take a huge hit. Like I think United are going through this right now with Sancho. They are going through this with a lot of other players as well, right? So yeah, that makes a difference. One very, very good signing, a very shrewd signing. The Liverpool backup keeper Kelleher has completed his medical test at Brentford for 18 million pounds.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think
Mark
I'm very
Flecken went to Bayer
surprised.
Leverkusen.
Yeah,
No?
yeah. But I'm very surprised that none of the top clubs actually went for Kelleher. I think he was really, really good whenever he played for Liverpool.
Again, someone United could have signed.
Yes,
Actually,
yes,
actually,
yes,
he's
100%,
really
100%.
good. maybe
18
maybe
million
Liverpool.
you're getting a
Yeah,
18 million you're getting a great replacement for Onana, man. Like, come on. And you
I
sell
think
Onana for 18
Liverpool.
million.
I think Liverpool would not have wanted to do a deal with United personally. That would be the only explanation.
I don't think
Or perhaps the
United have
player
a.
would also not want to come to United. That also is something that is very possible.
Why would the
Is
player would not?
he a
He's a youth academy
Liverpool?
player.
Acha. Okay. One interesting news out of Italy. Simone Inzaghi expected to make final decision on his future. Meeting with Inter set to take place while Al Hilal proposal is on the table.
Yeah, they're going to
It'll be
make
very
him the
interesting.
highest paid manager of the world.
Yeah.
And he gets to manage in the Club World Cup after this if he becomes their manager.
Imagine him facing PSG. As PSG and Al Hilal facing each other.
Is PSG in the Club World Cup? I don't think they are.
They are.
How?
Because the format requires one, the champions of the last 4 seasons. Madrid have won it twice, so एक extra slot open हो गया. Second, you can have only 2 clubs from the same association. So then it goes to coefficients. But let's say Arsenal ka coefficient high hai, but because Chelsea and City are already there, they cannot make it. So then based on coefficients, it keeps on going lower and lower till there are 2 clubs from each association.
Acha.
So that's the way it's what made.
By the way, another keeper that's available is Yon Garcia.
No, he's
Apparently,
gone. He's gone.
He's
He's gone.
very
Barca.
close to go to Barcelona.
yeah, but not finalized. But I'm sure that some of the clubs in EPL could have looked for him. Yeah, like
I'm sure
he
they
didn't.
did. Yeah, I'm sure they did. He was linked to a lot of the clubs, but it's very difficult to resist the pull of Barcelona or Real Madrid for any player.
Plus, he's from Espanyol. So it's
I know he's from
literally,
Espanyol.
No,
yeah,
but that is
yeah,
worse. Like normally you don't
yeah.
have transfers between Espanyol and Barcelona. Like
Exactly
he's
my
gonna,
point, right? So that's
yeah.
why I was thinking कि a English club could have kind of come in over there.
Still time अगर deal sign नहीं हुआ है तो, but yeah, seems likely at the moment.
I know that Arsenal were really interested in him as a number two, but I don't know
I
whether
don't
he
think
would
he
want
wants
to
to
be
be a
number two.
number. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think you
Yeah,
want to
but
be a
he's
number
gonna be
two.
number 2 at Barcelona also, right? Like behind the
No,
Stegen.
not really.
No,
Not really. Not
Chesney is
really.
kind of checked out, yeah.
Stegen as well. Ter Stegen
Yeah.
is rumored to be on his way out.
Yeah. Also, but like I'm sure Chelsea is looking for a keeper as well, right? Like Chelsea,
Chelsea actually have
United.
a really good keeper in the name of Petrovic. He was Chelsea's second keeper last season, went to Strasbourg, was one of the players of the year in the French league. Unfortunately, I think it's very manager specific again. So Maresca does not rate Petrovic, and he rates Sanchez better than Petrovic. And given the fact that a manager has his preferences, it seems likely that Petrovic will be sold, which will be unfortunate because I think he's a better keeper. But yeah, like you have to back the manager, right? Unfortunately, in this case. And there is one more keeper which Chelsea signed 2 years back called Mike Penders. He is a 6'7" Courtois region from Belgium. In fact, Genk as well. So he should be going out on loan this season. If he does well, he can be a number one keeper in the next couple of seasons.
Man, what are the latest United
What
rumors
has he been doing
or
until
news?
now?
Who has been doing?
Mark Penders.
Mike Penders is 19. He just finished his
Acha.
first full season at Genk, Racing Genk,
Mhm.
in the
Mhm.
Belgian league. So they signed him at 17 for
Mhm.
I think 15 million, and they loaned him back to Genk because they wanted him to have some game time. In the first season, he was a second choice keeper. Then last season, he became the first choice keeper. Now, this season, either he will be a second choice keeper for Chelsea or he will be loaned out to Strasbourg.
Okay. Yeah, United has completed one deal, Mateus Cunha. Uh, I am not very happy with the price that we've had to pay for him, but what's done is done. And I mean, he is really someone who can be very good and be very bad. Like, so, I mean, there's high risk, high reward kind of a situation with him. We are very strongly linked with Mboemo now to uh, to perhaps fill in for the right number 10 position in Amorim's system. Again, I've shared my views, I think, with you all that I don't think he is a natural fit for that position. So, so I don't know how that's working, but let us see what I mean. I'm sure Amorim and Jason Wilcox must have been, and Christopher Vivell must have been working out these things, and perhaps there is something that I don't know. I'm sure there are a lot of things that I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, I think these two are the strongest rumors for United right now in terms of outgoing. Bruno is heavily linked to Saudi Arabia. I will not be happy with that if he leaves. And what else? What else? I mean, a lot of players. We need to cut a lot of the deadwood in the club. Uh, Garnacho, we discussed last week, uh, very strongly linked again to leave United. I actually don't think I'll be very happy about that also, but he doesn't fit the system right now, so there's no other option. And I mean, his behavior has been very poor, so again, there's no other option.
So there
So
was
yeah,
some news that Garnacho might be leaving for 40 mil.
40 is too low. Yeah. I don't think
I
he'll
know.
leave for
That's what I'm
40.
saying. Like there was some news that he might leave for 40 mil, whereas his valuation last year was somewhere close to 60 odd mil or something like that.
In
Not
Jan,
even last year, in Jan.
apparently, yeah, in Jan, people, including Chelsea, I think, made a 60 million offer for him, which got rejected. And right now, yes, 40 million seems to be the go price because I think he has actively fallen out from the club,
Awesome.
right? So everyone knows that he wants to leave, and everyone knows that the
Yeah.
club want to sell him.
Yeah, but I don't think United's going to accept any offer below 60 million for him.
Then you will be stuck
I
with a player that no one
I
wants to
Yeah,
doesn't
I
that's
want to be
okay.
there.
I have a
It's
strong
okay.
feeling that he may head to either Atletico Madrid or Napoli for 35 million.
No, no, not happening. Not happening at all.
Let's see.
He is
Why do
not
you
on
say
very high
Napoli?
wages. Sorry?
Because of the Argentina connection.
Napoli
No,
because
Napoli
they
have
want a
wanted him.
replacement for
Yeah,
Okay.
Kvaratskhelia.
yeah, they've been wanting him. And he's ex Atletico. Like, we got him from Atletico for our youth team.
By the way, Ange Postecoglou has been sacked by Tottenham.
No way.
No, not
Yeah,
Did
yet.
it just
official.
happen?
I think this came out a little while back
Because
that
I'm just reading Romano's tweet from a few hours back. Spurs chairman Daniel Levy said to decide Ange's future in the next days. Situation open. Thomas Frank and Marco Silva both appreciated, but nothing on the sacking.
Yeah, it's
एक
not
बार
on
वापस
Is
Sky
check
it
कर.
Sports also.
is it confirmed? Let me check. Wait.
Yeah, I just read it like before we were getting on our previous stream.
Wow. अभी तक तो नहीं आया. There are some football insider reports. Tottenham to sack Ange amid announcement.
अच्छा कंफर्म नहीं
Okay,
आया
wait.
क्या?
Let me again just
नहीं
see
नहीं
other
हुआ है,
things.
नहीं
Wait.
हुआ. I
नहीं
did a
अभी तक
quick
नहीं
Google
आया भाई.
search. There's nothing.
But imagine, yeah, like if this actually goes through, it'll be it'll be Spurs being Spurs. The one manager who's won your trophy and you let him go, and on the other end of the spectrum, Amorim stays.
Last time they sacked Mourinho before the final. This time they waited for the final. They won it and he sacked.
Crazy, man. Crazy if it happens. I can't imagine how
Yeah.
Spurs fans would be feeling, yeah.
Yeah, man.
उनको आदत है ना.
Still, dude, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
By the way, Postecoglou in the celebration, during the celebration, he was like, I told you guys I'll win it in the second season. And I promise you the third season is going to be even better than the second season.
Correct.
I don't know, man.
I think he was angling a way to stay at the club. Even after the Champions, like even
Mhm.
after the Europa League win, he went on the conference and he said something like this. So yeah, cool. I think some of the major
Hmm.
ones are done, and we'll cover the remaining next week. There are lots of like if I just take a small roundup, there's Kirkes to Liverpool, which is close. There is talks of Ryan Cherky, the Lyon playmaker, heading to Manchester City. So there are a lot of other rumors going around, but let's wait for some confirmations next week.
Correct. Correct. Great. Thanks for
Cool.
watching, guys. We'll see you next week. And do hit the like button, subscribe, share. And do let us know which signing are you the most excited for. See you.